And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, James Out West Saturday, May 29th, 2021, my brother.
What up?
What's going on, dude?
Same old, you know?
Another week.
Good week, doing a Saturday
NBA
show
basketball.
again. Made it on a Saturday and didn't have to push it to Sunday.
Yeah, this is true.
It's good.
This is true.
But, yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. We got a couple things planned for later.
I'll tell you, I'm jonesing for sports. Obviously, we got a little bit going on with basketball and everything, but this morning I was watching a cornhole tournament on NBCSN.
I was watching some women's college softball for a little bit there.
Okay. All right, so we were in the same zone.
Yes.
Missing football and waiting for baseball to be relevant.
Yes, and just, you know, obviously the NBA games didn't start till later.
Right.
Which we had Milwaukee win.
Yep.
They swept.
They took out the brooms.
Yeah. So, but yeah, all around good things. Kind of interesting with football. Did you see Tebow?
Yeah, he's jacked.
Boy, is ripped.
Now, I don't know if that translates to him being on the
him,
field of the team or,
but
you know, if he makes the team, he will score touchdowns, and there'll be an over-under in Vegas and on every sportsbook manageable.
Yep. And then we had Vinatieri retire.
Yes, sir. 25 years. 25 years. Be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Do you think he was the best kicker of all time as of now?
Yes.
I would agree. I think
yes.
so.
He's got 4 Super Bowl rings, and he kicked 2 game winners in those 4 Super Bowl rings. He might have kicked 3, but I know it was 2.
He was a stud, and for a long, long time. I mean, it's impressive. Julio trade talks are all over the place.
Of course, anywhere from Green Bay to
the Pats, the Niners, the Rams, Tennessee,
And
Cleveland.
NFL.com right now.
Yep.
Teams that need Julio Jones, and the Browns are on there.
And the spreads that people are making bets. Have you seen this?
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
It's crazy. It's kind of funny. But
I mean, he said he was out.
But I saw a stat. There's very few people who have been productive after they've been traded after the age of 32. Obviously, Julio is a beast, but
he's a rare.
Who knows?
He's a rarity.
Who knows?
He's a rarity.
We heard about Rodgers talking. Finally came out.
Yep.
Saying it wasn't Jordan.
No, it has nothing to do with him.
It's an organizational.
Yeah. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's been little things for the last 16 years that's a culmination into that's the last straw type shit.
And he's finally like,
Yeah, enough. I go do Jeopardy. My wife's a superstar on the up and up.
I'm chilling in Hawaii
Hollywood.
with what was that?
But he's not going to retire. He's not going to. He's going to play.
No.
I think it'll be in Green Bay. I don't think he goes somewhere.
He's not retiring. I don't think he's going to be in Green Bay, though. I still don't. But who knows? Okay. Is there anything else you want to cover before we get into your division?
No, I think we're good. We'll get into everything else happening.
So we're going to get into the AFC North. We did the NFC West last week. We're going to go over the schedule. I started with the Niners last week. Why don't you go ahead and start with your Browns?
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and start with the soon-to-be Super Bowl champion Cleveland Browns.
Oh, my gosh. Start off that way.
Now, obviously, we've got 17 games this year.
It's the largest season.
It's the biggest season ever, according to NFL and ESPN and everybody else. But it does jump out that way. There's a lot of games that of our importance for everybody. When looking at the rosters and looking at the schedules, going through the Bengals, looking at the Cardinals last week, it's like, man, every game's a good game.
Yep.
Every game is, I don't know. Week one, we opened up national TV, the 425 on CBS. We got, I almost called him Jim Rome. I don't mean Jim Rome. Clowns. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo in Kansas City. Cleveland ends their season last year in Kansas City, starts their season this year in Kansas City.
So you're 0-1 coming out the gate.
Could be. Houston at home.
So you're 1-1.
Chicago at home.
Okay, I'd say it depends.
Stop it. Stop it.
You don't think Fields is going to come out and ball against you?
Even if he plays well.
That defense is good, though.
Yeah, but I think that defense might be running on. It's the Chicago Bears defense. Let's just see.
No.
At Minnesota.
Okay.
At the Chargers of Los Angeles.
I like that game. I love
I do believe we're going to be going to that game. Me, my dad, my brother, my cousin. The extension is obviously.
I was going to say, where the heck was my
I don't know if we're doing a
It's fine.
round trip, leave early in the morning, go see the game, and come back, or if we're making it a weekend. Not sure yet. We'll keep you updated.
I would like for it to be a round trip so I can make sure I get back home to my family.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean round trip in one day, a turnaround. I meant turnaround, ladies and gentlemen.
I had to give it to you. Okay.
I meant turnaround.
All right, so that's going to be a good game. All right.
Cardinals in Cleveland.
Yep.
Then Denver on a Thursday night at home.
That could be interesting. Depending
Could be, depending. If you think Rodgers is going to Denver,
even
then maybe.
If it's not, like, I still think you guys are going to put up points, but that might be one of the best defenses, especially secondaries, in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Pittsburgh at home on Halloween.
Najee Harris is going to be running all over you.
Oh, my gosh. He's going to be running all over. Did you see Myles Garrett?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you seen the pictures of Jadeveon Clowney?
Yes.
Have you seen Takk McKinley? These guys are going to get after it.
No, I get it. And I even saw Myles Garrett doing his dunk when he crossed the kid over. Yes. No, I think you guys are going to win that game. But at the same point.
Yeah, absolutely. Pittsburgh's until otherwise proven. At Cincinnati, they're going to be better. We're going to get into them. At New England, and I think that's going to be a tough game. Very tough game. Detroit at home. At Baltimore on a Sunday night.
That's going to be interesting towards the end.
Then a bye week.
That's ridiculous.
Then the Ravens again at home. So it goes at Baltimore, bye week, at Ravens. So we play Baltimore twice in 3 weeks. We get a bye week where the Ravens don't. They play Pittsburgh in between us.
Okay.
So that's a good rivalry game. They're going to come beat up. I expect us to probably lose a Sunday night game. Yeah, at the end. Yes. Well, the Browns don't play a division game until week 8, until Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
that's wild.
The schedule in some of these, like especially the NFC East, and I brought this up, I think, a couple of shows ago. It's crazy that there's so many in a row.
Log jam. Boom, boom. Raiders at home, like I said. Then it's a Saturday or Sunday Las Vegas Raiders at home. They haven't decided yet. Saturday will probably be the game, so it'll be on national television on on NFL Network probably. Christmas Day we play at Green Bay.
I love that they're doing Christmas Day.
So if you don't think Aaron Rodgers is there, this is a Cleveland Browns victory.
It depends.
You telling me Jordan Love's going to lead them to victory against the Cleveland Browns defense?
I'm saying if it really does depend on if he's there.
If Rodgers is there, I have us taking them.
You don't know. Some of these kids come out and just ball. And
Very true.
We haven't seen enough to me say
Very true.
For sure no. Right?
Very true.
So that's where I'm coming from.
But statistics say more times than not.
Most likely not going to happen. Correct.
Monday night, the last Monday night game of the season, Week 17 at Pittsburgh.
Again, you guys play each other at the end.
And then Week 18, Cincinnati at home.
Oh, yeah, it's not 17. Yeah,
so
with the bye. So you guys are going to have a good season. I like your schedule.
The over-under in Vegas right now is 10.5.
I would take it. I honestly would. Yeah.
I look at it, and I have them going 13-4, and that's losing to Kansas City Week 1.
Yeah, I think
I know that sounds homerish to an extent, but when you look at the schedule, it's like I can see them in every single game. I can see them winning legitimately being able to win every single game, but obviously that's not going to happen. They're going to have hiccups. They're going to come against better teams. Kansas City's probably still a better team until proven otherwise. Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers was in the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row. Pittsburgh, still Pittsburgh. Yes, we beat them twice in 2 weeks in a row and embarrassed him at home and made Ben Roethlisberger cry on the bench.
And since he got better, Ravens got, you could say, a little bit better.
Yeah. And they are in the hunt for Julio Jones.
Right.
Don't let the Ravens get Julio Jones.
It's going to depend on that and then also how healthy you are. I think you guys are probably going to be more than this, but I would say at least 12 games. I think you guys are going to be a good team.
Thank you. Agreed. All right, moving on.
All right, so I'm going to do Pittsburgh Steelers, one of my favorite teams of all time. I'm completely kidding. So they start off with Buffalo. That's going to be a tough game.
That's an L.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so we got Ben coming back. They made some different moves. I still don't believe in the Steelers.
Najee Harris is going to have a good year. That makes the offensive line better. They did address some offensive line issues, but
you can get some TikToks on the
Ben Roethlisberger is still Ben Roethlisberger. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, no, it is, and he's a year older. He might be good through these first 4 to 6 games, and then it's going to be the exact same thing that happened last year, I think. So after Buffalo, they go to Vegas, or they're at home against Vegas. That's going to be an interesting game. That's kind of an exciting game, I think.
Very much so.
Because they both are going to be trying to prove a lot in that second week.
And who's to say the Raiders aren't out on Aaron Rodgers? I mean, everything's kind of like the caveat, the trump card is, well, if they have Aaron Rodgers, well, if they have Aaron Rodgers.
No.
I'm going with he's on Green Bay for now. Until he's not, he's still a Green Bay Packer.
I think if anything, it's Denver. Who knows? Like, supposedly there's a first-round draft on the board for Julio. Like, that's all of these rumors, like, it could just be smoke.
Rumors, yep.
Yeah. All right, so then they got at home, and then they got at Green Bay. Then they got home Denver and Seattle.
It's a tough schedule.
I think they maybe win 2 games if they're lucky. 1. Vegas is probably the biggest opportunity there.
So far?
Yeah. So then they got you guys.
Yeah.
At your place.
I say we split with them. Be respectful.
No, I wouldn't. You guys are going to beat them. I think.
You think we beat them both times?
Yeah. I do. I like your guys' what you guys do, and I'm not saying that because you like that. I love I love arguing against you, but I do like your team this year, which is I can imagine.
You can't believe you're saying that right now.
In our 15-year relationship, this has never happened. This is like I feel like something happened. Okay, so then they're at home against Chicago and then Detroit.
I mean, Dan Campbell's going to have them boys playing.
Correct, and that's going to be interesting, and Goff maybe gets a resurgence, and who knows? I like Chicago's defense. We'll see. Then they go at the Chargers. I think they lose that. Then they go at Cincy. I love Burrow.
I know you do. Ohio State's own Joe Burrow.
He looks good, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting. He got his receiver.
Yeah. And he's got his 14-inch scar down his thigh to his
offensive line going to allow him to get to week 12.
Well, hey, they did address that in the draft.
Yeah, a little bit, but then they're at home against Baltimore. Loss. Then they go to Minnesota.
And that's later in the season.
Who knows? This is week 14. Then they're at home against Tennessee. I think that's a loss. Then they're at Kansas City. That's a loss.
Monday night with us.
At home.
Loss.
At Baltimore.
Loss.
Week 18. Loss.
So you have them finishing.
I will give them the benefit of the doubt and say they win 6 to 7 games.
Okay. So, and we were worried about.
I don't even think they'll do that.
When we talked about this.
I like Tomlin, though. I do have to say.
And he's never had a losing record.
Right. So who knows?
Guess what? There's a first time for everything.
Right.
Okay. I will say this about, we were worried about my altruistic hatred for the Steelers. Not the city of Pittsburgh. Here it's great. Never been. Not the Steelers fans. Majority of them are great people. But this team, you were concerned about me. I was going to give them more wins than you gave them. But now after we've gone through the schedule and actually combed through it, there's a good chance they only win 5-6 games.
And it depends.
That's unbelievable to say.
It's hard because of certain stretches.
Look, here's what you should know. The Browns fans, the Ravens fans, and the Bengals fans, when Ben Roethlisberger said that he was coming back, we all rejoiced.
Oh, of course.
That used to never be the case. We dreaded Ben Roethlisberger. We dreaded their offense. We dreaded the fact that they're going to draft good Ohio State players, play great defense, and win the division. Now we're praising the fact that they kept Ben around. Thank you for keeping that old garbage dump back there wearing number 7.
You
for one more year.
I
did so much. So much. Oh my gosh. The respect I have to have for the show.
So it's going to be interesting. This division is going to be wild. All right. So you're up. You got Cincy.
All right. So obviously I don't like the Bengals. We know this. But we're going to look into what was their biggest problem last year was they couldn't keep Joe Burrow up, right? So everybody's going to say they're going to take an offensive line. They're going to take Swell. They're going to take Jamar Chase.
They
took Jamar Chase. But in coming back in the second round with like the 49th pick, so he's a top 50 pick, Jackson Carman out of Clemson. First off, he's out of Clemson, so he's probably one of the biggest linemen coming out in the draft.
Yep.
Right? Played in big games for Clemson's basically a pro organization. had to play against Alabama, who has everybody on that side that he faced is in the NFL.
And did well.
And so they addressed some holes. Joseph Asai, defensive end for Texas. They just brought in Larry Ogunjobi from Cleveland as a free agent. They fixed, or I don't want to say fixed yet because we don't know, but they potentially filled a lot of key holes that kept them from winning games last year, and they were competitive last year.
They attempted to make some good fixes. It's going to depend on what pans out.
Now,
and you can say that about anything.
Sure. Do
Right?
you believe in Zach Taylor as their head coach? If you do, then these draft picks will pan out. If he's not the guy, there's a chance that you don't hit on all your picks. They had 10. I just went over the top 3. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. And the reason I bring this up is because all 3 of those guys are going to be starters.
I like it.
They're going to be in day 1.
And Jamar Chase is a stud.
He is a stud, absolutely.
And giving him to Burrow.
And guess who he's going to get week 1? Pat P in Minnesota. At home, though.
Let's see what happens.
Then they're at Chicago. So Minnesota at home. I think Minnesota in Cincinnati wins week 1.
Do you think Minnesota's on a downslope right now?
I think that's what people want to see. I think they're mediocre, which means I think they're going to win 8-9 games.
Yep.
Because they're first off, they have good playmakers. They have a good scheme. They've got a comparable quarterback. They have Dalvin Cook, one of the best to do it.
Yeah, no, I mean.
And Justin Jefferson might be one of the key top 5 young receivers in the league. And they still have Zim. They still have Spielman as their GM. They're well coached and well put together. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get over the hump with Cousins, but they're not going to lose. They don't lose to the Bengals. Let me put it that way. They're not going to lose to the Bengals.
Okay. So what's next?
At Chicago. Chicago's going to win that game.
Okay, yep.
At Pittsburgh. They're going to lose that game. Jacksonville, Thursday Night Football in Jacksonville.
All right.
Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow.
I think Cincy's going to show up and beat the Steelers in that game.
Okay. I was going to have them splitting this year and getting the home turf, but I'll give you that. Green Bay at home. Okay. At Detroit.
Depending.
Again.
What's Goff going to do? What's, new coach.
They're up there interviewing. They had a workout with Todd Gurley, so who knows. At Baltimore. Loss. At the Jets. Potentially could be a victory.
I like Robert Saleh's system. That's going to be, the Jets are going to be good. And maybe not this year. They're going to be definitely better than last year.
They'll be well coached.
But they're going to start a new entire system that's going to be successful, I'd say, in the next 2 years.
So we'll see. We'll see how much Zach Wilson can digest and reproduce on the football field to be able to run whatever system he's going into. The pressure of the Jets. We'll see. I have no idea. I don't want to cast any judgment because I really don't know.
I liked him more than I wanted him over Trey Lance.
There you go. Okay.
But I'm happy with Trey Lance.
Cleveland.
Loss.
At the Las Vegas Raiders.
That's going to be a good game. That could be exciting because it really is going to depend at Vegas.
Pittsburgh at home. Pittsburgh at home. Pittsburgh.
For my uncles, I'm going to take the Raiders.
All right. L.A. Chargers.
Loss.
San Francisco.
Loss.
At Denver.
Loss.
Baltimore. At
Loss.
home. Kansas City at home.
Loss.
At Cleveland.
Loss.
They win 4 games.
They're not going to lose that many in a row. But in my head, just immediately, that's probably less.
They're going to lose 4 of their last 5.
At least.
Or 5 of their last 6.
I think so, too.
They're not going to win many in the beginning, so they're not going to win a lot of games this year.
Schedule. See, we actually, as much as I hate that we have, a week 6 bye, I like our schedule better than probably anybody else.
I'm very happy with our schedule. And in comparison to everybody in our division as well. Now, I haven't really looked at the Baltimore's Ravens schedule, but I've definitely the Steelers and Bengals. So when you come up with this, will be the first time I see it.
Well, let's get into it.
Let's go.
Start off with Las Vegas Raiders at Las Vegas.
Okay, so that could be a week 1 bump, but I would give the Ravens that win.
I would think so as well. Okay, then week 2, Kansas City.
They lose that game.
That could be interesting.
Maybe not, though. Where's it at?
It's at Baltimore. So that could be interesting. So then they're at Detroit, at Denver.
Win-win.
Home against Indy and the Chargers.
Indy's going to be a tough game. Chargers are going to be better, but Chargers aren't going to win every game. They're not going to be favored every game. They get that victory.
I say Indy's going to be a good game. I think Ravens will probably beat the Chargers. And then at home against Cincy.
Okay.
So then week 8, they got their bye week. So then they're at home against Minnesota. So they have a 4-game stretch with a bye weekend. They're all at home.
Okay, nice.
So that's going to be
good for them.
Yeah, so that's in their favor. That's could come into play to where how many things are going to change in that division, especially for what you guys are going to do.
Yep.
All right, so then they go to Miami. Is Tua going to be doing his thing? Is their defense still going to be as good? What's going to happen with that game? I like the way they're coached. Then they're going to Chicago. And then they're back home against you guys in Cleveland. Or versus Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I say they go 2-3 or 1-3 against those Miami, Chicago, you guys.
Okay. You mean 3-1?
No, so they'll win 1 out of the 3.
Oh, really?
I don't see them beating you guys for sure. And I don't see them beating Chicago, but maybe Miami, just depending on what the system is. And also maybe Chicago, depending on the quarterback.
Right. Okay.
Is Fields going to show up?
I mean, I'd expect it.
All right, so then let's get through this. So then they're at Pittsburgh, at Cleveland, and then home against Green Bay. I say they have it. They'll win Pittsburgh. They'll lose against you guys, and they'll lose against Green Bay. Then at Cincy, home against the Chargers, and then home against Pittsburgh.
So they're gonna basically
split the season.
So you got them at what, 10 or 11 victories?
I'd say 9 to 10.
I have them at 11.
I got to
them
give more than 10 or 11.
I have them at 12.
I'd say 10 or 11.
I have them at 12. I think you're not giving them as much credit as they need, and that pains me to say. But their schedule could lay out that way very easily.
It depends on the way they play. They
add Julio Jones. That changes.
Completely.
Exactly. So as of today, exactly. But as soon as Julio Jones goes somewhere, that changes for a plethora of teams.
Right. You guys are both. So I think it's going to come down to you two. Okay. So it's going to be Baltimore and Cleveland. You guys are both well coached. Things can change depending on injuries. Baltimore focuses so much on the run game that if they got Julio, that completely opens up the game.
Oh, my goodness.
They always have good defense. You guys have put on some power. I like your team, but who knows what's going to happen?
Yep.
Week 1, somebody blows some knee out or something happens. Or even in training camp before. You never know.
You never know.
So your guys' division is probably just as interesting as ours is. I think ours is better.
Yes, I agree. But 1 through 4, you guys are better.
Yep.
Agreed. Said that last week. I think they're the best division in the NFL.
Yeah, but
NFC West.
They're good. Okay, so a couple of things I want to talk about. So Tatum went off.
50 burger on 16 of 30, my friend.
That was amazing. And then I'm not a big fan of Boston, but at the same point, I respect him. Morris caught the ball out of bounds, threw it to, I'm not sure who the other person was. They then bounced past it back to Morris, and Morris did a little behind the back right at the free throw line. And then Tristan Thompson came up, and it was a gorgeous play.
Dude,
I loved it.
And obviously the Boston Celtics won this game.
Yep. They needed to.
Obviously they needed to. Here's the big thing with this. Tristan Thompson had 19 and 13. 19 points, 13 boards. When Tristan has a game like that, typically that team wins. You know why? Because something went wrong. Something went wrong that they weren't boxing out Tristan Thompson. They weren't keeping him away. He doesn't shoot jumpers. He doesn't make free throws.
He needs to do that throughout this
for Boston, yes. This is more of I think Brooklyn lost this game versus the Celtics winning this game. Because they won by 10. Tatum put up 50. Harden had 41. KD had 39, and they lost.
Yep.
Because where was Kyrie? Where was Kyrie? He was checking to see if the earth was still flat. Where was Kemba Walker for the Boston Celtics? 3 of 14. Kemba, you can't be a superstar 3 of 14. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. Completely agree. So there's going to be interesting stuff going on because this playoffs is good. We've had a lot of people who won today to make it 2-1 or yesterday. So we got a couple more games. Who we got? Milwaukee won earlier today. We talked about it. They swept it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Phoenix-LA series.
Yeah, I mean it was a little deflating the last game for the Suns. It got away from them when they had a chance.
And the little leg flip to kick him in the balls.
Yes,
that was. You tried to disguise it, but you got caught with the flagrant one. Good job. So I want to give a shout out. Jerry West turned 83 this year.
The logo.
or this week, excuse me. Yeah, the NBA logo, still rocking. He was on ESPN. I watched his interview. It was amazing.
Fantastic.
It's really cool to see. The one thing that I think is the craziest thing of the week for the NBA. So we had Westbrook, who was losing and got hurt and was leaving the stadium, and some fan decided to throw a bucket of popcorn that fell on him. Westbrook obviously popped, right?
Yeah.
We all know Westbrook is not the most calm person.
Sure.
Then we had somebody spit on Trae Young as he was inbounding the ball.
Unacceptable.
And then we find out that Ja Morant's family, so we had 3 family members in the stands, and they were getting rants, not only racist, but sexist. I heard this today, and I have to say this because this is the craziest thing that I can't even imagine a fan saying this to somebody because they know it's a player playing a game that you're paying money to entertain, right? So you paid for this to entertain or just to heckle. He said, I'll put a nickel in your back and watch you dance.
And where was this at?
So this was in Utah. So when Memphis was playing in Utah, and Ja Morant ain't no bum. Come on.
I mean, what are we doing,
How
people?
Disrespectful can
What are we
you
doing,
be?
people? Hey, that's the world we live in. Everybody feels like they have the right to do whatever the hell they want. Honestly. That would never happen if you saw them at a store or on the street.
And dump some popcorn.
Now
I dare you to go do that and then dump popcorn on Westbrook.
How about
and see what happens?
Go down the street and dump popcorn on a normal person.
Yeah.
And I say normal in the sense of not a pro athlete.
It's such a fake.
It's such disrespect. It's such lack for respect for human beings. It's wild. Now, I will say this, because we were talking about this. This isn't wrestling. And what I mean by that is, in wrestling, not that that's always acceptable, but at times those guys, especially back in the 80s and 90s, you know,
that was kind
the popcorn throw, the water, the beer, whatever, it kind of came with the territory. There was lines that people could overstep, though, grab and touch and, you know, get
right,
get
but you
smoked
also
out.
expected that
but
stuff to come towards you.
Yes, exactly. It was very interactive.
Right.
You paid to go be a spectator at a game. A spectator.
Right.
That's not a person that participates.
No.
You've now become a part of the game, which you should not ever do unless it comes to you.
Which we haven't had for a year, and all of a sudden, all of this is happening now that we're back.
Now, the fights in the stands, that's always happened, always will happen, always had happened. Fights in the parking lots have always, will always, have always.
Yep.
Those, okay, we're not talking about those. Interactions with players. You know, this goes back to the malice in the palace. Mm-hmm. You know, Steven Jackson losing $3 million because he whooped a fan's tail. And he said in an interview back then that he loved it. He loved it. Because it was like he finally got to get somebody, because that's what it is. Like, first off, there's the difference between trash talking and heckling.
And and
heckling, there's different degrees.
Correct. You don't go after somebody malicious.
You don't talk about their family. You don't talk about their upbringing, their
spit on them or throw things
I mean, what are we doing?
We're not like here throwing beer bottles in the day.
And where are the people in the stands standing up for any of that? It's a mob mentality. Did anybody stand up? I don't know.
So when the guy threw the popcorn, the one dude that was sitting in front of him was just like immediately like,
oh, it was him. Because I don't want you to think it was me.
Yeah.
It was this guy.
So, like, I don't know, but at the same point, like,
that's wild.
What? So you go there and then you go home to your wife and you're like, hey,
guess what? I spit on Trae Young.
Trae Young today. Like, what?
I don't know. Well, there's probably people.
I don't know.
We won't talk about those people, but there's probably people.
Good luck with
those people.
The way you handle your things.
Okay. But I do have so that was the craziest thing to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to lighten it up with the craziest thing in the NBA that I saw.
Like,
from StatMuse on Twitter. I'm going to butcher this dude's name, and I apologize. Not that you're ever going to hear this.
Are you going to talk about the bet?
No. Facundo.
All right, we're going with
Campazzo. He's 5'11". He's a little bit taller than me.
Okay.
Is averaging one more rebound a game than 7'3" Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, Porzingis isn't doing much.
I mean, what are we doing here? 7'3", 5'11". He's got one more rebound a game than this guy. What are we doing?
Because he doesn't go inside.
Ridiculous. And that's why, but that's ultimately one of the reasons why Dallas will not be able to win a championship with the current roster that sits, because Porzingis is not tough enough yet. He's not. He's got all the skill. That dude could be bad. He could be a bad Bama Jamma.
No, he lost it all, man. He doesn't. After the surgeries, you can't. He's not the same player anymore. Not at all. I still believe, even though Brooklyn lost, still think Brooklyn's going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a flat game.
It's annoying that the Lakers
Pun
are
intended. It was a flat game.
Yeah. The NBA is going to will.
They will make it happen.
Into there. But it's going to be interesting. I love NBA playoffs.
Oh, my God. I just thought my stomach's so sick right now. Well, I won't listen to it, but there's going to be millions of people listening to Stephen A. and Skip.
And
Shannon. But wait until that matchup hits where it's the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie versus LeBron. How much is the city of Cleveland going to get dragged through the mud on this one?
Oh, gosh.
It always ties back to Cleveland.
Lead to Cleveland somehow in James's mind.
That should end up being a tattoo. So, all roads lead to Cleveland.
Yeah. Go get yourself a new tattoo that says that. Put it on your forehead. MLB. So the one thing I really want to get into is I haven't been watching too much baseball, but last night, Pujols, it was bottom 9, 5-5 against the Giants. So he's on the Dodgers now, right? Hits a bomb. And my man snatches it, center fielder, saves it, and then we end up winning in the 10th. It was incredible. Have you seen the play?
No. I didn't get caught up on baseball this morning. The Indians game got postponed, and I turned down the MLB
2
app
outs
for the day.
That was like that's like one of those like what you dream of when you're an outfielder. You know, as a kid, it's like the 3, 2, 1.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, snatching a homer.
Didn't play baseball. Didn't play T-ball. Didn't play Little League.
All right. Well, I'm done with sports.
All right.
Tell your story.
All right. So, no, we are not sponsored by Heinz barbecue sauce, Carolina mustard style. But the reason it's on the desk is it's got a story to it. So, our kid, our oldest boy, he eats like 3 things: chicken nuggets, rice, and like waffles. That's about it. But chicken nuggets always got to have ketchup.
That's a very equal balanced diet,
bro.
Right?
Oh, and he drinks green juice, but that's for another day. You know, this stuff here. He eats so much ketchup that he was getting canker sores. Okay, so we found a ketchup that has no salt, which was causing the canker sores. Right.
Okay.
So we're like, we'll just order it on Amazon because you can order everything on Amazon. So we ordered a case on Amazon. This shows up. Okay.
Can you see this?
So we get 12 of those. Okay.
Carolina mustard.
I mean, it's good stuff. Okay. So we get 12 of those.
Okay.
So we go back into the app and let them know, hey, we didn't order Carolina mustard. We ordered no salt ketchup. No problem. They cancel this. So they refund us.
Okay.
And they'll send us a new package. So 4 days later, box shows up.
You got some.
Another set of 12 of this. So I've got 24 bottles of Heinz barbecue sauce, Carolina mustard, sweet mustard.
Oh, come up for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you leave here, you're going to be doing some things. So what brought me to my point was this.
They just left, right?
Right.
So now you're stuck with all these.
Oh, yeah. So that they're not going to use anyways. So, but the reason I bring this up is because Amazon, sometimes you get weird shipments, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So in one of the shipments, I got what appears to be I mean, I'm sure it's like maybe an RC car, but if you're watching this, I mean, I saw a red button and I'm thinking bomb. I'm thinking it's a trigger.
That's either like go baby go or
right,
bye baby
right,
bye.
Right, yeah. This is for NOS or bang bang.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure which. Now,
What?
and I don't want to, and I will not discriminate,
So
but I will say.
Was it just that?
It was just this.
In like one of the
Yeah, the envelopes?
Yeah.
Yeah, just this. Didn't order this. Did not order this.
So you might want to make sure that you just pay a little bit more attention to your neighbors.
Right. I mean, because this is
Maybe.
so the randomness of Amazon ordering ketchup, getting Carolina mustard, 2 cases, and what could be bomb components or a kick-ass RC car. Not sure which.
I've had some crazy things delivered, but that might top it.
So that was the story for the week.
Good job.
Yeah, buddy.
You finally came through.
I know, it's been like 4 weeks.
I have so many stories, but you finally decided.
I think I might have just like blacked out that part of life for a while, and you're like bringing it back, and I'm like, oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, that.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of those.
So now life is inside of you, and you're coming out.
Sparkling.
So with that note,
Some big things are coming, folks.
Big things. Can't talk necessarily about everything yet, but yes, it's show's growing.
Show is growing.
We're doing some things, especially locally.
Locally.
We'll see some growth. But you're doing a lot with the website.
Yeah. If you get a chance, go to www.jamesoutwest.com. There are articles written, blogs written. You can watch videos of ours from now to the past. There is a shop for T-shirts like this one. This hat right here with the logos. You can pick which logo, etc. There'll be some stickers involved. There's going to be some things out there available for our fans to pick up.
Once I finally take a second, I will start writing my stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have nothing on there yet.
That's okay. We're still in the low part of the sports world.
My part of it, he just gave me the password.
Like on Saturday, Sunday. So it's
been new. Anyways, the more stuff will be on there, but Instagrams, all the different
everything,
podcasts, YouTube obviously is our main, and then you'll see what's coming.
Right on.
So, hey,
have
a good week, homie.
You too. I'll see you.
One love.
Later.